Come on, guys. Jackson. Hey, make those parts out there. What's going on, guys? You guys hear me? Cool. All right, man. So pretty good week here. Rolling. We had a contract in last night. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So what's going on, man? What's new? Who learned something big this week off of from personal development? Nobody, huh?
I just jump in. I don't know if I'll say necessarily learn something new, but I think definitely I was trying to be more intentional with my practice of mirroring, labeling, and just trying to kind of be on the same frequency as the seller in which I'm talking to. I definitely got a good range of personalities on the phone, so it definitely was good practice to, basically let the seller do most of the talking, and then I kind of just mirror in the style in which they're getting me, and it definitely gets down a little bit. I've been dealing with a lot of sellers who, even if they're the ones filling out forms, but you just gotta kind of calm yourself for a second. Don't take anything personal, and understand that they're gonna have their walls, and how you handle that first determine how the rest of the conversation goes. So I mean, maybe that is one of the bigger things that I'm continuously learning, is that those first 2 minutes you're on the phone are just really important.
Jackson, shut up. Building. Sorry. Oh shit, I thought I was on mute. Boy in the background making fart noises and talking to himself.
Shit, that's all good. But yes, I mean, I guess that was my biggest takeaway. It's just that first 2 minutes you're on the phone, with the seller for the first time. It's just so important, especially when they have their walls up, because like either you're gonna get their walls down and you're gonna be actually able to have that conversation, or you're gonna fuck it up and like you basically, you're gonna lose the lead from the get-go.
Yeah, man, 100%. It's all about building that rapport and creating just making somebody comfortable. Definitely.
Yeah, because like unfortunately, like there are a lot of just bad companies that do fucked up shit to people, and it's just you kind of have to be aware that these people are looking at us like that, even if they did submit a form. So we have to just reassure them that we have their best interests at heart, and we're going to be transparent and honest with them, and and ethical at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it looks like Kathleen Owens, that was the contract that came in last night. So she finally signed.
Yeah, finally signed.
Yeah, she said she was going to sign Friday, and she did.
Yeah, so that was good. I was happy. I hit my goal. I wanted to get at least 3 signed contracts this week, so I was happy to hit that goal because I felt like I had a lot lingering. So I was just glad to kind of get something to finally tumble over.
Yeah, there was actually a report came out about Scranton being one of the top areas to flip percentage-wise for some reason. I don't know. I mean, right now we got 2 properties that are under contract in Scranton. Julie's got some good showings going on one of them, and then this one that just came in last night. So should be pretty good. I mean, we have the 2 properties that are in Scranton. I'm actually going to be in the Poconos on the 2nd. So that's on Saturday. And I think 4th of July is Monday. So I think Tuesday, I'll probably meet up with the contractor, possibly meet up with Adam, go check out the properties that we own there, because none of us have ever been there. But we do own the property, so might as well check them out. But yeah, guys, as far as putting in the work. I mean, what do you guys, what do you do, Dalil, as far as your daily schedule go? I mean, do you cut time out of your day to?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. I mean, I'm a big schedule guy. I mean, I kind of always been even before this. So there's just certain things I want to do. Like I always start my day with a workout. Um, After that, I come home, eat breakfast, and then I try to get that morning action going. Check my tasks, emails, and then try to get like an hour in on the phone. And then obviously we usually have our meeting, and then there's always an afternoon or evening period I try to also re-hit. So that's I mean that's usually kind of the type of schedule I usually try to hit. Like I always want to get a morning session and an evening session, and then I notice my afternoons are kind of interchangeable. Sometimes you'll have appointments, sometimes you'll have live leads that come in. So like I like to leave the middle of the day kind of open, but like that morning and then that evening, I'm real like strict with how I want it.
Yeah, man, that's good. It's good. So I'm typically just my thing. I would always just show up. I mean, I come into the office. I'm there early. I'm there all day. I'm there at night. Whatever it takes, the wit, right? Whatever it takes to get the job done. Eventually, you figure out how to work less. But in the beginning, you're definitely just hammering the phones. Until you get that knowledge and you get a little bit more skills when we can convert some stuff a little bit more efficiently. So Dalil is going away tomorrow. He's gone for the week. So definitely we're going to have some opportunities that are, that Dalil's jumping on, because he's usually pretty quick in the system, and that's the name of the game, is the first person that jumps on that lead. That's typically the person that gets it. But there's no some of these leads that come in, that's the importance of getting there first. I think the statistic on a real estate lead is that 85% of the people that fill out forms or they submit information on their site, they usually sign 85% with the first person they talk to. The first real estate agent or the first real estate investor. 15% of those, yeah, they'll go with somebody else. But it's a pretty big number, so you'll convert more on the people when you're first in. And the experience for the person, and all leads are created differently. Not all leads are created equally. So you got to kind of understand, where that person is, and they're sitting there in front of their computer, stressed out about the situation. These leads could come in at 6 a.m. They come in at 9 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 p.m., whatever that time of the day is that they're thinking about it. That's on their mind. That's typically the time that, I'll try to catch them right away. If it comes in at 1 a.m., I'm shooting a text out. I won't call them, but I'll definitely text them, because that is right now in that moment, that is what they're thinking about. And it's a perfect time to have that conversation. So, yeah, you never know when somebody's on the computer, if they're going to fill out a second form, and that's why we're so hard on, you got to call that lead within the first really like 1 or 2 minutes. It's very critical. You could have somebody that in 2 minutes they fill out the form and boom, they're off to the next website. And how many times have we called a lead? I've called a lead an hour, maybe they didn't pick up the phone the first time because I called 5 minutes too late, and they were already on the phone with that investor, and that investor signed that deal, and it was a good deal. There's a lot of people that and those are the lay downs. Those are the guys that just say, I want this much, and I'll sign it. I need to sign a contract today. Put it in my email box, and I'll sign it. So we have people like that, and like I said, hyper critical that we're the first person that talks to them. So if they don't even pick up the phone, I will hammer that person 3 times. I'll call them 3 times. If they don't pick up, if it's going straight to voicemail, I'll shoot a text, shoot an email. But if somebody is, and that's another technique too. Like if you can't get a hold of somebody, I'll call them 3 times in a row. And don't think a lot of people get too much in their head. They can't get out of their own way. They say, why would, that's crazy calling them 3 times. Like, look, man, we're sales guys. Like at the end of the day, I mean, yes, we're not doing sales, we're buying properties, but in sales, you have to have certain tactics, and hammering somebody 3, 4 times, calling them in a row, they're going to say, holy shit, what the hell is this? This is not a normal telemarketer. And, if they pick up, I'll say, oh man, I don't know what's going on. My phone, not sure exactly what was going on the phone there, had some issues, or whatever. It doesn't matter because I got them to pick up. Another thing I'll do too is I'll roll a call through CallRail, so I can have a different number. So if I'm calling it from a different phone number, a different area code, they might pick it up. For example, my phone is 848 phone number, which is a cell phone from Monmouth County. I used to live in North Ocean County. I used to live in Lakewood, Manchester, over there. So anytime somebody calls from an 848 number, I know it's like car warranty or some other stupid, telemarketer. So they'll typically use the same zip code as you. Hold on one second. Sorry, my daughter was just sitting there staring at me in the kitchen. Always happens when I'm in the kitchen right now. So always happens when you're on a call or something like that. And she's like, I don't need anything. I'm good. He's getting some V8 splash. Delicious. Yeah. So, like I said, that's the name of the game we're in. Is, it's a game, and sometimes we do have to gamify things and turn it into a game. How can I get this person on the phone? How did they come in? How do they respond? Are they responding via email, text? What time of the day did they come in? So I'll try to hit them up on at that time. Maybe I'll shoot them a text or something like that. So try to mix things up, try things different, just always, it's just really a matter of being aware. So your awareness levels are, pretty critical. And sometimes you just got to think, and other times you just got to dial, so there's a lot of, there's times when you use different tactics and tools, and there's times when you don't. It's your guys' job to know the tools and then figure out, okay, this is a good time to do this, or, no, this is just, it's a waste of time. I'm thinking too much. Let me just jump in and just dial the shit out of these leads. But, like I said, for those people that are ghosting, or that person that that property that's in a really good area and they just won't pick up the phone, yeah, we'll get a little creative, especially if we know that it's a good area and we know it's a good, sometimes you just really want a deal. You know what I mean? You look at a property. Other ones, maybe not so much. Trenton property, I might not try so hard, because Trenton properties or Atlantic City, might not be that great. So, anybody want to chime in on that?
Yeah, definitely. Just to add to you, definitely prioritize those live leads, because I think part of my kind of daily routine is like when I wake up and I see that we got some from overnight, like I'm hitting that before basically anything. Like, like I think the live lead should be the first thing when you wake up to hit. There should be no leads untouched, and then you can get into all your work and roster stuff. So yeah, just because there is sometimes where I see us, we'll leave the live leads in there. It's been sitting, and like there's people online working, but like the live leads just sitting. It's just like, no, like prioritize that live lead.
Yeah. And, for the live leads, sometimes you may think like, oh, somebody already tried to call them today. That doesn't matter to me. Like, I'll definitely look at like, okay, if Dalil called, texted at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm not calling and texting at 10:30. Maybe I'll call and text like in an hour or something like that. Or maybe at 2 p.m. or something. I'll try to mix it up. Definitely, working in that team level. Look, I'm not going to tell you what's that, oh, you're calling this person too much. If you get them on the phone and we're closing deals, like that really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? What's the worst thing that can happen? They'll say, what the hell are you calling me about? This is way too many times. Like, look, man, you filled out a form on our site. You came to us. How can we help you? What do you need? So, at the end of the day, like I said, these people all raise their hands. We're not working cold leads. We're working leads that people are filling out forms on Facebook. People are filling out forms on Instagram, our website. We have other websites that catch leads, these motivated seller type sites. And then we even have the postcards, which the postcard did mail out yesterday. So they'll probably get delivered Monday or Tuesday, depending, so the phones may ring on Monday or Tuesday. So, if you guys do see some phone, some unknown numbers, like pick it up, that could be a deal. So when Daleel's away, I'll be texting over those live leads. Just make sure that you guys say, got it. First one to say, got it. That's typically the rule. So, if there is a live lead that comes in, just jump on it real quick. If you guys don't jump on it, I'll jump on it. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, like we have to convert, and we have to get contracts, and that's the name of the game. And if we're, spending $200, $300, $400, $500 per lead, like I can't let it go for more than, 2 minutes. So if I don't see anybody raising their hand after 2 minutes, I'm going to take that call. I don't want to take opportunities from you guys, but I will if I have to, if nobody's available or something like that, All right, you guys got any issues that you're stuck on? You got any maybe scenarios that you want to do a little replay, a conversation that you think you might have botched, or something like that? I know Joe had a good one, the subject to property scenario, which I shared the Word doc contract with you. So you should have that, so you can edit it and then, take the section where it says, we're taking over an existing loan, and just fill that out and check it off. Did you see that?
No, you sent it via email?
So it's, I added it to the training, the how to generate a contract.
Oh yeah, I was reading over it. You're talking about for our new contracts, because I think that's like the second line. I think our first line is like cash, and then the second line is subject to, something like that.
Right. So you're going to take the Word doc that I shared, and it's in the training. If you jump on Trainual, and then you're just so I want you guys to read that contract. It's this is part of what we do. Contracts are everything. So I want you to read the contract and know it, understand it. If somebody has issues, if there's a question, you should be able to answer it pretty fluidly. You know what I mean? So just knowing your contract, it's not that complicated. But definitely, Joe, as far as that contract goes, it's a template. So you're just going to have to go into it and then do file, make a copy, and then you'll be able to edit that one. So if you guys ask, like, it'll say like, George requested to edit this thing, I'm not going to give you permission to edit it. So just know that it's a template, and make a copy so that you can edit that copy, because I'm not going to give anybody access to edit it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to, I would like to say for that kind of scenario, as a testimony part, what really helped, in all honesty, was being able to mirror and also label. Pretty much like this guy's been in here for like over a year's back and forth communication, with myself and Dalil, and finally kind of like giving him the realization was being able to kind of like obviously identify what his real problem is, and then the secondary problem is not being able to get rid of his house. So the good thing is, I had just watched a video prior to that, with Jerry Norton, and he pretty much had it was Pace Morby. He pretty much had a seller, same situation. They went on the contract with the wholesaler that couldn't get rid of it for, the numbers were just way off. So I kind of told him that, like, look, not throwing anyone under the bus, but the numbers were way off, and this is pretty much what we could do. It sounds like you really just want to get down with your grandkids, and at this point, you really just want to walk away from the property peacefully. And that's where he kind of came to realization. He was like, all right, well, you know what? It sounds great to me. Let me just, talk it over with my son, because he's helping me move. So, all right, great. Just obviously applying what we learned, and then now having, the ability and those added tools, kind of integrated in the contract, kind of just makes things easier.
Yeah, man. And if you guys know, if you understand how seller finance and subject to, you don't have to know all the ins and outs, but if you can learn that eventually, like, I said a couple weeks ago, I think you were studying subject to, and I said, look,
Yeah.
you really got to figure out, work on how to close people, and let's baby step it into that. You know what I mean? We have to learn. It's like when you learn martial arts, man. Like you have to start in the beginning, or maybe not. Martial arts is a bad example, but in anything that you're learning, there's still the fundamentals. You can't just jump into the expert level tactics, which is subject to. So we got to learn our how to build rapport, how to ask the right questions. Those are your foundations. How to get motivation questions, and then the solution part of it, which is seller finance or subject to, it can be very, very powerful. And when you are going into a recession, when you're going into these type times, you might have come across people that just cannot afford to live in their property anymore. And they have a great mortgage rate. And it's, the rents are, let's say, $500 over their pity, which is principal, interest, tax, insurance. And that might be a great subject to opportunity for us. Seller finance. I share with you guys. Actually, I shared with Dalil and Joe a seller finance video where the guy didn't want to do it on the phone, and then like Pace is talking to him about it, and he's like, kind of interested. He wants to do it now.
Yeah.
Pace, that video is crazy because he's like, he said he wanted 230, and then Pace is like, I'll give you 270. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? You know what I mean? And then he's like, I'll give you interest on top of that. So like, I don't want you guys going like crazy like that. Like, giving like, dude, 40, why would you go 40 over what the dude asked for? I don't understand that. So what you want to do is, if they're asking for the 230, say, look, I can get you 230. If you're looking for price, you're not going to get that price from any investor, and take that. And I don't even want a sales coach on that. Guys, go and look up Pace Morby. Like, he's the king of subject to. And the guy he actually used to be a contractor for Open Door. And he was the guy that when Open Door went and bought somebody's house, he would go out to the house and write up a scope of work. And then he would inflate those numbers. They would ask him to inflate the scope of work so they can go back and renegotiate the guy, which is crazy, but that's how they work. And on top of that, they also slap a 5% fee on top. And the reason why I'm covering that is because Open Door happens to operate in North Carolina. So when we run into that, we can say, look, this is what happens when you sign a deal with Open Door. And, just because a guy hung up on me, like this dude in North Carolina that got the offer for the Open Door, he hung up on me, that lead's not dead. Like, I'm still going to try to go after a seller finance type situation. I think I tagged a couple of you guys in there. It's a condo right next to Wake Forest University. And, he's asking 214, and he's like an old dude. So older people that own the property flat out, no debts, probably perfect for seller finance. And say, fuck your 214, dude. Like, how about we give you 225 and roll that out on a mortgage, on a note, So, like I said, I don't want everybody to get way too far off track on understanding and knowing seller finance. But if you do know and understand how that works, like, you guys could literally, in the next 6 months, you can find your next home that you're going to live in via subject to or seller finance. Like, that's incredibly powerful that you'll be able to take over somebody's mortgage payments with no credit. You're going to have some money, to pay the closing costs and any arrears that come up or any repairs. But, to get into a property minimally and take over the mortgage, and it's crazy because trying to get a mortgage with 1099, it's not easy. I bought my house in 2017, but I paid myself a salary. That's the only way I was able to get financing for a house. I put myself on the books and I paid my own salary through my company, and they saw that as a job. So that's how I got financing on my house. But yeah, man. It's 11:30. Pretty much wrap for this coaching call. Do you guys have anything to add, or any questions, or anything to leave, a good note to leave everybody on?
Yeah, I've just been watching YouTube videos of like how to get more real estate listings, and it kind of seems like the same thing that Dave does. And this guy said the same thing. Sometimes not pushing too hard is a good way to go. He was saying, when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to list with an agent," be like, "All right, well then don't." Figure it out the hard way then.
I would, if somebody says I don't want to list with an agent, I will say, don't want to list with an agent. You can throw a mirror at them real quick. To dig a little bit deeper to find out exactly what happened, because if you can reveal that pain point, that's your leverage in order to land that deal.
Right.
Because if they come back and they say, yeah, I don't want to list with an agent, and you say list with an agent, yeah, real estate agent, yeah, I listed my house with an agent. And there were, the communication was terrible. They kept asking me to drop the price, and they never called me. We never talked. There was never any showings. And you could say, like, just dig deeper. Say, okay, so was it the marketing photos? Did they just, they just set the price wrong? They didn't like advertise it. You can kind of dig a little bit deeper, and then you can maybe have that conversation. An educated conversation. It's like, look, man, if your thing, and what you really want is to get the most money, then listing on the market is the way to get the most money. I actually made a whole training video on the steps to a retail real estate deal. And it's in there so you guys can get educated on that process. Because if somebody wants to list their house, they have to go through all those steps. They have to get a property, and they have to go through the showings. They're gonna repair their house first, actually. Then they're gonna clear up the clutter. Then they're gonna stage the property for photography. Then they're gonna go live on the market. They're gonna have all these texts. You might have 10, 15, 20 showings in the first couple days, depending on where you're at. If you're in Philadelphia, it gets crazy. Like 5, 6, 10 showings in one day if you're in a good spot in Philadelphia. And you're going to have people walking through your house that aren't even qualified to buy the house. Like, they're just like, the realtors out there are idiots. There's 80%, it's the 80-20 rule. 80% of the real estate agents out there stink. 20% of the real estate agents do 80% of the business. So you're going to find a lot of people that just don't know what they're doing. They're taking people through your house that aren't even pre-qualified. Just completely wasting your time. You got invasion of privacy. All these, you can't even be at home, so it's completely disrupts your life. If you're at home, you got to leave your house. And then once you get a buyer, they got to do a property inspection. And sometimes people will bring their family. You got to leave for that too. You're going to have all these people in your house picking it apart. Guy's going to write up a 40-page, 60-page document about all the things in your house that are busted. And then the buyers are going to try to renegotiate you for 20 grand or 15 grand, or you got to make repairs. And then if you get through that without getting renegotiated, then they got to do an appraisal. And then you got to pay to get a CO, certificate of occupancy. And if the city finds anything wrong, then you got to make those repairs. So, we've gone through these processes and with buyers, and they could end up doing something stupid. Like, let's say they go get a credit card because they want to buy furniture, and then all of a sudden they can't even get the loan. So now you got to go through all that whole process again. And now it's 60 days later. And guess what? The market has gone down and interest rates have gone up. So, like, now more than ever, man, speed is very, very valuable. and we got to take advantage of what we're seeing in the market. So
Yeah, I would like to say to that, to George, dude, Mike hates real estate agents. DeLille doesn't
I don't
want to be a
hate
real
'em.
estate agent.
I don't
Um,
hate real estate agents, man. I just
Yeah,
don't like most of them.
yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. So he dislikes that 80% that we was talking about. But pretty much, dude, I've realized, man, even being an agent myself, dude, I keep that just as another tool on the utility belt, dude. Like that's like just another option. Like if all the other options we have, like if I exacerbate all the other options and like they seem adamant on that, then that's when obviously I'll come in and I'll try to pitch that, and then I'll definitely tell them, reiterate the same things like Mike said, was like, all right, great. Well, it seems like you're looking for, you know, a retail buyer, but however, you know, we got to get the property up to retail standards, you know, like, you know, you're gonna have to pitch this to FHA or whatever conventional clients, and there's things that are mandated through their inspections and stuff. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's in the new training too.
yeah, so
FHA.
just yeah. So just to kind of just to reiterate on that, like Mike said, like all those were like good pinpoints, and just realize like having your license is another tool. But dude, like we have a great team, and we got so much like private, you know, funding backing with our private deals that sometimes it's just it's more of a peace of mind on your end, dude. Like to definitely try to keep the investment routes first. Trust me, dude, you won't go gray as fast.
True story, man. I used to be an
Yeah,
agent.
word up. Word up. Yeah. So, you know, that's how Mike got gray, was the agent years.
Yeah, thanks. And the 3 kids. You got 3 kids.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it is at the end of the call here. I'm gonna take this recording. I'll upload it as usual. Dalil, have a great time, man. Enjoy yourself over the next
Appreciate it.
week.
Yes, sir.
I hope you you know, have a great time and just able to let loose. Let down your hair, right? And like I said, dude, don't leave the resort, man.
Nah, yeah. I
Careful.
got it.
Be careful. I got robbed. They tried to
I
murder
know,
me.
I know.
Said
I know.
they were gonna murder me for $200.
At $200, that's crazy.
Yep. So
Nah, I ain't gonna leave the resort.
awesome, man. All right, guys. Well, you know, like I said, step it up this week. Dalil's gone. We gotta bring in some deals, and call me if you guys need me. If you know, text me, whatever. You know, other than that, have a great weekend.
All right, guys.
All right, everyone.